Hello, everybody. Listening to the Fairweather Podcast. It's your boy 2K Suave. I'm joined with Alex Rodriguez. How are you, Alex?
I'm doing good. I'm alive and well. Breath in my lungs. Playing too much golf. I don't know what to do with my life.
Y'all been talking about golf a lot lately. Where did this random passion come from?
I'll tell you what it is. Okay, this is where this passion came from, and Vic knows the story. So I'm gonna shout out Vic from Townie Sports. Took me golfing with him one day, and I'm competitive by nature, man. I really am a person who's competitive. I probably played golf 2 times in my life. Never liked it. Didn't want to watch it. I think it's a boring sport. I think it's a rich person sport. You don't really need athletic ability to really play it. Just all in the head.
You do, bro.
Beg to
you have to walk the course. You were taking a golf cart.
Yeah, that's relaxing, bro. Those slobs can do that. Anyways, I saw Vic out there, and Vic's got like the most pristine dad bod that a man can have. Okay.
Yeah.
And he was just whacking the ball like yards, man. And when I saw that, I was like, there's no way that I'm going to lose to this guy. And of course, I suck. Let it be.
Did you think your baseball swing would help your golf swing?
Oh, absolutely.
That's
man.
the mistake that so many people make.
No. I know. Trust me. So I have an ongoing joke with them. Vic made me, Sammy fixed me. So okay. Sammy and I are like, pretty even. Sammy's probably got a better long ball than I do. Definitely has a better long ball than I do. But Vic has made me, what I am and taught me a lot along as we've been playing. But yeah, it's a lot of fun now. I'm obsessed with it. I actually went to the driving range with Sammy today. Left work a little bit early. Don't tell my boss, but
whoa. We'll probably have to edit that part out.
Yeah. But no, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So if you haven't played, give it a chance.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my top golf game down first before I take my talents out to the real golf course. But we're not here to talk about golf today, unfortunately. We're here to talk about the game that was played on Sunday with that pigskin, that sport that they call
the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl. It was a good game. Like, if I wasn't a fan of either one of these teams, that was probably one of the better games I've watched in a long time.
I agree.
But as a Philadelphia Eagle super fan, and side note, have you ever gone through your list of teams, just rank who are your teams that you rank, who hurts you, who hurts the most, or who's your real favorite team out of your favorite teams? Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I'm a
What's your list? I'll give you mine real quick. So mine is the Philadelphia Eagles #1, LeBron James #2, the Michigan Wolverine football team #3, and then Phillies, Sixers, Lightning, and then USF. What's yours?
I think mine would definitely be the Yankees, because I'm a huge baseball fan. Yeah. That's when we don't win. I don't want to hear it from anybody.
It hurts.
Don't come at me with some shit. Oh, 27 champion, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to hear that shit. Okay, I get it. Okay, you can't win them all every year.
Yeah.
But me with the Knicks and the Jets, bro. The years I've had with those teams. Those ones are pretty much neck and neck. I would say 2 would be the Lightning for me.
Okay.
And of course, LeBron James is his own team to me too, man. When he does bad, it pains me.
It's sad. It's honestly sad, but I can definitely admit this. I've 1,000% watched 3 times the amount of LeBron James games than the 76ers ever since Allen Iverson left. So because if you asked me this question 20 years ago, it would go Philadelphia Eagles. No, it would have went Allen Iverson and then the Philadelphia Eagles. That's how much I love Allen Iverson. But yeah.
Yeah, Yankees for me, definitely. Football and the Knicks, if I had to rank them now, because they're getting better. They're definitely getting better. So if I had to, basketball still, is a step higher for me than football. I've been used to too many disappointments with the Jets. So
yeah, same thing with the Sixers. That's why it doesn't hurt as much as it used to, because Like when we lost in the NBA Finals to Kobe and them in
It was
01,
Kobe. It's
that
Kobe.
hurt. But that was actually the first time I cried over sports. And then it's been disappointment every year since then. Till Kawhi Leonard shot from the three in the corner, Embiid's broken face last year. Just everything that could go wrong with the season has gone wrong. So I've learned to accept it. With LeBron, though, it hurts a lot more than it hurts when the Sixers lose. So
yeah, I hate seeing LeBron lose.
yeah,
It's sad, but I mean, it's what the game is. It
yeah.
happens.
So,
But yeah,
with that being said, obviously that leads to the theme. The Philadelphia Eagles were unfortunately on the wrong end of the football game. They lose 38-35. So if you took the over, congratulations, because that was a high scoring event. Now, before I give my thoughts and everything about the game, I want you to have the floor. First and foremost, how was the game for you as you watched it?
man.
And first, could we give it like a breakdown of like, what happened in the game and like a little
So
synopsis?
yeah, so first half we were. I don't have the score in front of me. It was 10-10, right? In the first quarter, right?
No, because it was 24-12 at halftime. So as we're up 14-7. No, we're up 14-7 at one point.
Yeah, I know. So
Yeah.
all I don't want to get. I'll let you do a breakdown of the game in a bit. I'll tell you from what I took away from that game.
Mhm.
We did our MVPs of the games a couple last week. I said Miles Sanders. I thought he was gonna have a big game. He didn't do anything.
Mhm.
But Jalen Hurts, my God, man, that guy is an amazing player. He is very amazing. And I if you take away that fumble that happened, we would have had a different ball game.
Man, that fumble hurt. That fumble hurt, man.
It hurt it really did hurt to watch, because
And I'm not even mad at him for. I mean, that kind of shit. The ball just slipped out of his hands. I can't even.
Yeah,
I mean, it
but
happens.
at the same time, you called it in the last episode. He's going to make what would you said, a juvenile mistake or a rookie mistake, and the Super Bowl type move for him.
Mhm.
So that was it. That was the one that hurt him. But they went in 10 points ahead into the half.
And you know what I kept thinking of that whole time? San Francisco went up 10 points on Kansas City at halftime too. And 24-12 was the exact score that were up on the Patriots where we won the Super Bowl 5 years ago. So there was too much like symmetry that was happening, and something had to break one way.
But how many times does this man Patrick Mahomes have his back up against the ropes and got to do it?
Yeah.
I mean, with the Bucks, it was another story. He had no whole line. There was no coming back from that.
Yeah.
He had a completely healthy team.
Zero sacks.
Yeah. Yeah, it hurt to watch, man. Like it hurt to watch it for me to watch it, because I knew you were going through it. So all I can say is the takeaway from the game is Patrick Mahomes is that man. He is that man. He is that good. And the call at the end, the hold. I know Branbury came out and said he did it. He held and he thought he'd get away with it. In my opinion, that's a class act move, as opposed to dancing around it, saying they're a bunch of cheaters, blah, blah, blah. The refs are fucked up. Like, class move. Tip of the hat to him.
Yeah.
I just think that officiating in that type of game and that close of a moment, I don't see the hold, to be honest with you, because I watch a lot of DBs, and a lot of DBs.
That's every play.
That's every play, hand on the back, and you have your hand from his back on his hip all the way to his back, and you follow with him for momentum. But once you pull that jersey, now you're holding.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't pull a jersey. I just saw his hand on his back. And that, I'm not trying to sound like a homer for you or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Like, I literally watched it. I was like, I don't see it. I don't see it. But tough loss. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is that dude, man. When I saw him roll that ankle at half, I was like, we're going to have a tale of two halves now. This guy's going to come out. We're going to see the Chad Henne Bowl if he can't get it together. They gave him some horse shot or whatever.
Or at all.
Back out there, man. It's tough, man. I was pulling for the Eagles. I got nothing to hate on the Kansas City Chiefs, man.
Me neither.
Andy, I know, and that's like the sad thing about it too,
except
man.
Except for Juju, now he's public enemy #1.
And I was about to
catch
say
his
that,
hands.
you know I'm a big Juju fan. You know I love Smith-Schuster.
I know,
but that was just kind of stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, take your W, go with it, man.
And Jackson Mahomes bum ass.
Yeah, go with that shit. AJ Brown too. Like, let it go. And I know Patrick Mahomes even got in on it too. So, like, let this shit go to rest. Like, who was it? Drace. What's your Slay? Darius Slay was on a podcast giving praise to these boys, saying they deserve it, saying that he thinks that the Mahomes Kelsey duo is going to be better than Gronk and Brady. And everyone's got their opinion.
How old is Kelsey now? He's getting up there now.
In his 30s. He's got to be like 32, 33.
Yeah. Yeah, he's born in 89, so that makes him what, 30? He turns 34 this year. Oh, so yeah. From my vantage point, so
this is your let it out moment right now, bro.
Yeah. So just so you guys know, after that game, I turned off my phone, I turned off the TV, I stared at the ceiling for about 3 hours, like hoping I could wake up from the bad dream that I was having, because it clearly had to have been a bad dream. That's what I kept feeling. Never woke up, so I guess I was actually awake for this loss. Mind you, to kind of set the table. So this weekend I was in Houston, and it was a very stressful weekend for me because we were talking about wedding planning and guest list, and that's just it was a crazy weekend for me. And then I land on Sunday. I'm trying to keep my zen the whole time. I do what I normally do, just relax. I watched the Brian Dawkins video right before, like I normally do. I got my crystal, and I just held on to my crystal for 4 hours. And this time the crystal didn't come through. When I held the crystal last time, Brock Purdy broke his elbow, and Josh Johnson had a concussion, and we won 38-7 or whatever. So last time the crystal worked. This time the crystal did not do what I thought it would. But anyway, so first of all, and in the beginning of the game, like America the Beautiful and all like the 3 songs that they played in the beginning to honor America and Black folks and everything, that was probably the best back-to-back songs I've heard before in a football game ever. Like Chris Stapleton, country singer, I don't really know who he is. I was like, damn, that man can sing.
Did a good job.
So the whole time I'm just I'm like, all right, cool. I see Nick Sirianni crying on the sideline. I'm like, this is gonna be exciting. And we get off, we get the ball to start the game, which is a bad idea because we always score on the first drive. We scored on the first drive. I mean, we looked dominant. And then, Mahomes came back and scored right back. So 7-7, all right, cool. Now it's a football game. We go up 14-7, and then we have the ball up 14-7. And, we talked about that fumble. To be honest, and again, I'm never going to blame this game on Jalen Hurts ever. Like, Jalen Hurts, to me, is a made man forever. Like, he's already, like, eclipsed every Philadelphia Eagle in my lifetime besides Brian Dawkins as my favorite Eagle. He's my second favorite Eagle of all time, just like that. I mean, he's passed Nick Foles up. He's passed them all up because that dude was the best player on the field this Sunday. But he made just one crucial error. You kind of just expect it because we're a young team. You know what I mean? Like, not young. We're actually a very well divided team as far as age. We're a well-balanced team, but we have a young quarterback. I mean, this is his second full year starting, already in the Super Bowl, and he played a hell of a game. 3 rushing touchdowns, 70 yards rushing, 304 yards in the air. I mean, he was just diming it up. AJ Brown in the corner, wham. Dallas Goedert, wham. Devontae. I mean, he was just throwing dimes all through the field. But that the ball slipped out of his hands, and we were on a drive to go up 21-7, but instead that turned the whole game around because now all of a sudden it's 14-14, and they look like they had life again. And we go up. I mean, we ended up. It was not 24-12. It was 24-14. We ended up, still going up a touchdown again, and then we make a field goal. So it's starting to look like okay, we should be fine. That 29 minutes at halftime, it should not be allowed because first of all, Rihanna did fantastic. She's pregnant. Holy shit, that's crazy. To do that with a baby in her stomach, you gotta give it to her. So the whole time I'm like, this is taking too long because I saw Mahomes just limp off the field, and I don't want players to get hurt, but I'm like, I need him to come right back on the field with that hurt ass ankle because if he 29 minutes, he has so much time to get rest, tape that bitch up, take shots, whatever he needed to get that ankle right because he came out of that halftime. It was like Michael Jordan showed up, and it was nothing we could do. We tried to keep up with scoring and everything, and we couldn't do it. Like he like you said, Mahomes just. I mean, he only had 187 yards passing. It's not like
he didn't break 200.
But like he would like Andy Reid, like he was just so masterful with play calling. Darius Slay fell for the same. Our secondary fell for the same play 3 times. The last time they fell for it was the Bradbury hold, and getting to that actual play. So first of all, Kadarius Toney, I don't like that guy either. So he can kick rocks. But anyway, Pacheco, he can kick rocks. Now I used to love these guys. Now I hate Kansas City because my heart is in pain. But that Juju Bradbury play, should that have been? Was it the right call? Yeah, it was probably the right call. Should they have called it? Absolutely not, because they literally ruined an opportunity to see one of the greatest endings in the history of the Super Bowl, because they would have incomplete. They would have made the field goal. They would have went up 35, but we would have at least a minute and 12 seconds to try to make a comeback. And I wanted to see Jalen Hurts drive us down the field and do something, because this is an opportunity to show, if he's him or he's not him. And they robbed us of that opportunity. I'm never going to blame the game on the refs. I don't think we lost because of the refs. I do think the refs were kind of inconsistent. People were saying the game looked kind of fixed. I wouldn't say that, but there were some inconsistencies that I noticed that I wasn't too fond about. For example, Devontae Smith, the catch on the sideline.
Oh yeah, that fucking hurt me too.
That was a catch to me.
Yeah.
And then Dallas Goedert did the same thing. They called that a catch. So like, how is Dallas Goedert want a catch and not Devontae Smith? That one irked me. And that was on 3rd and 18 or something. That was a beautiful play. I mean, everything was just beautiful about that. So that one pissed me off. And then the other thing that really, really pissed me off, the field conditions. And you heard Greg Olsen talking about it all game long. Like, guys were slipping and sliding everywhere. And what makes us good as a football team is our ability to cut and everything. Like, Jalen Hurts likes to cut. Miles Sanders likes to cut. Devontae Smith likes to cut. Like, our defensive end and backs, like Hassan Reddick and Hargrave, like they depend on the field being good so they can get to the quarterback and they're not slipping and sliding everywhere. The fact that we had 0 sacks tells me something, because but I will say Mahomes got out a lot of shit. Like, again, with a bad ankle, I got to give it to him. He had that one run in the fourth quarter. That one took the life out of me. But the field conditions were just pathetic for the way we like to run our team. Like, our team is built on that kind of stuff. So I do think that hurt us a little bit. But outside of that, I mean, it was a good game. Just wish we would have came up with the win. As a fan, it's so easy to be like, yeah, we'll be back next year. You know how hard it is to come back next year. Like, when we played against the Patriots back in 2004. We had Terrell Owens, Donovan McNabb, Brian Dawkins, Leo Shepard. We had the best team ever, in my opinion. And I was like, we'll be back next year. And we didn't come back until 2018. So I feel like we lost that opportunity. We didn't make the right adjustments in the secondary. The whole game, I'm like, the defense needs to make one play, one pick, one fumble, one sack, something to just get the energy back on our sideline. And we couldn't do it. We just couldn't get that play. And then obviously the Bradbury thing happened. my face. Remember Richard Sherman's face when they didn't run the ball with Marshawn Lynch? I made that same exact face, bro. It was so crazy. I made that face, and I was so overcome with so much emotion. Like I literally, like my body was like tingling. I was like, I cannot believe we're about to lose this shit. I'm like, we're not gonna block this. Harrison Butker, he's gonna make like it was just bad, man. It was bad. It just sucked, but you know, again, if I wasn't a fan of either of those teams, that's probably one of the better Super Bowls I've watched since probably that Patriots Seahawks one. That one was really good.
Last year
But
was good too.
last year was pretty good too. But I don't know. The Rams are kind of boring because after OBJ got hurt, it was kind of just them holding on for dear life. So this one we saw, I think already. Like honestly, all right. Question: if
Answer.
Patrick Mahomes never wins another Super Bowl, but still puts up the same numbers he's doing, because remember, I said 3 years ago that he may never win a Super Bowl again. I was wrong. Remember?
In a rebuilding year.
In a rebuilding year, they won a Super Bowl. So, for example, if he never wins a Super Bowl again, right? But he continues to do what he's doing, but the team around him is not as good. Can we still, at the end of his career, probably call him the greatest quarterback of all time? Because honestly, he's like what Aaron Rodgers should have been. All this talent in the world can make only Aaron Rodgers could make some of these throws, right? But he didn't have the Tom Brady in him. Patrick Mahomes has the Aaron Rodgers and the Tom Brady in him. Who's going to be able to stop that? He has the killer instinct to go kill you in the fourth quarter. And he, like, what lead is too, like, there's no lead for him that's too big for him. 21 points, 7, 10, it don't matter. And
Yeah,
then
it don't matter.
he has the Aaron Rodgers ability where he can make throws that only he can make. So
I think Aaron had that mentality in the beginning.
yeah,
I think he had that mentality in the beginning, but this new Aaron Rodgers, I'm going on a dark retreat and shit. Like, okay,
yeah.
he's definitely on something. I mean, maybe it's the cheese, who knows?
But Aaron Rodgers, I mean, like, if you look at Aaron Rodgers' like playoff record, like he has one run, and then every time like it's like a big moment, he doesn't come through, and you're
He's
not going to
also
see
getting
that with
older
Brady. You're
too.
not going to see that with Mahomes. It feels like
Yeah, he's also getting older though, man. At this
I'm
point in
talking
his
about
career.
7 years ago.
Oh, and seven. I mean, but he's gotten them to the NFC championships.
And lost
He's
to
done
Jimmy
that.
Garoppolo twice.
I know, but he's
That's
also
at home. He had
I
Tom Brady in them at
I
home.
I get it. I
Yeah,
get it. I'm done making excuses
yeah,
for him. The
yeah,
only thing I can say is he's just getting older now. Motherfucker won MVP and had an amazing year. I own you, all of that shit. And then we preach it all the time. We used to say he's a bad man, but now he's
Who's the
bad
bad
man
man
in the
now?
regular season. The real bad man is Pat Mahomes, man.
Yeah,
Like that boy,
and
he's
one day, like I get to tell my kids, I watch the Eagles, at least for now. I watch the Eagles make 3 Super Bowls, and we played Tom Brady twice and Patrick Mahomes. Like, damn, can we get a break? Can we play a bomb, please? Like,
yeah.
damn.
Yeah, he's really good and he's a great leader. He's an amazing leader. And I'm not taking anything away from Jalen Hurts because I think Jalen Hurts is what your team needs. That is him and Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. Those are the three best leaders in football. All three of those guys. Everybody else, take your notes.
Yeah,
Want to
Josh
win a
Allen
lot?
not like them.
Be like that.
Justin Herbert is not like them.
I
Trevor
think.
Lawrence,
Yeah.
too
I
young. We
mean,
don't know yet.
well, the same thing with Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's getting like a new offensive coordinator now. He's got like new toys to play with. There's a whole lot of things going on for Justin
Yeah,
Herbert. I think he can be that caliber type person, but it's the head coach, man. We
yeah.
both know that. And I'm very, very excited to see what happens to Jalen Hurts. They're saying that he could get up to like 45 mil a year, and I think he's well deserved of that. I think outside of his amazing play, what he brings to your locker room is definitely
Unmatched.
something that
Yeah,
you can't find in I think everybody looks for the stereotypical pocket passing quarterback, and that's what we base everything off of. Like in the past, the Dan Marinos, the Johnny Unitas, the Steve Youngs, the immobile quarterbacks. That's what's going to win you. But now you're seeing a different type of caliber of quarterback coming into the league. And that kind of quarterback has always been shunned. Oh, he's not going to win games. Oh, he just wants to run the ball. He should be a running back, blah, 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 blah. But now you've got teams that are molding to that style of play. And then a lot of those guys have big egos too to go with it. This kid is the most humble player I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
He took that L. He answered questions the right way. Had a little kid ask him, how does
I haven't even heard any of the questions. Like I said, I have not watched anything about football since the end of that game. That's how like distraught I am.
Well, I've watched it, and you had a little kid ask him, how does it feel to lose this in this big of a moment? And not even like he was talking to a kid. It was one of the best answers I've ever seen him answer. Like he's a class act. Yeah. He's a class act. He's a good guy. I'm never going to root against him unless he goes Kanye on everybody, but I don't think he is.
That's definitely not happening. That man is a man of faith and a coach's son. That's not happening. Yeah, if I gave you this, and that's the other thing that hurts me is like the Eagles outplayed to me. They outplayed the Chiefs. Like if I gave you the stat sheet before the game, and asked you who won the game, you'd be like, probably the Eagles. How many total yards? Eagles 417, Chiefs 340. Passing yards against Patrick Mahomes. We held Patrick Mahomes to 182 passing yards, and we had 302. Rushing yards, they outrushed us 158 to 115. First downs, we had 25-21. Third down, we went 11 for 18. They went 4 for 8. Fourth down, we went 2 for 2. We ran 20 more total plays, same amount of punts, 35 minutes of.
It was that drive on I think it was the third quarter where they had like possession for like 8 minutes or whatever, man. I was like, yo, this is masterful right here. Andy Reid does this all the time.
And we lost. I mean, it hurts a lot. You know, it's just, I feel like this was the game for us to win, and we just couldn't do it. And but back to Jalen Hurts really quickly. I mean, like, it's so hard to get a quarterback that's like, oh, we finally got one, right? You know, ever since Donovan McNabb, it's been, I mean, we had Michael Vick, we had Kevin Cobb, we had Nick Foles, we had Jeff Garcia, we had
it's been a carousel.
Everybody. And you know, it's like to have somebody like that, you know, he's never gonna get in trouble. He's never gonna be a locker room issue. He's going to be the leader of this team for the rest of his time there. Hopefully it's forever. And guys are gonna want to play with somebody like him. To have that guy, it's so hard. Like in the league right now, it's like, how many of those guys are there? Like you have them,
not a lot.
You have a Burrow, and then you have people probably say Josh Allen, but that's all the way in Buffalo. It's cold as shit. Outside of them, maybe Trevor Lawrence.
Bro, there's 3. I just said the 3 that there are solid candidates. Solid candidate. There was an award for greatest leader. Those are the 3 guys right there.
For sure.
Those are your 3. Like they're amazing. And I'm proud of Jalen Hurts because his story is amazing. I know everybody loves to put those little stories about black quarterbacks and all that shit. Fuck that. This kid has literally gone to a fucking great program, benched in the biggest game ever of his life, and was a clipboard holder. And did it with a smile on his face. And I'm not going to go through all the accolades. Like the dude's amazing. And for Philly to be on the fence about him, with Carson Wentz carousel there, like
we were not on the fact that we drafted him in the second round. The writing was on the wall for Carson Wentz. The locker room had no love for Carson Wentz whatsoever.
The writing was on the wall. We both know that, but we also know the program wanted to stick with Carson Wentz because he was a 2 overall pick. And then
because we paid him. That was the problem. We shouldn't have paid him. You gotta pay. You gotta play the guy you pay.
And you paid him too, but you got to look at it like in a managerial thing as well. This guy won you a shit ton of games, and you go to the Super Bowl. He gets hurt. Nick Foles comes in. You're expecting to pick it up from there, and that shit didn't happen. It looked bad. We both saw him lose that locker room, and then in comes this kid, and he does great his first game. He does great his second game. I think he won like one or two of those games, but
he
it
beat the
looked
Saints.
good.
He beat the Saints that first one. I still remember. That was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. I tweeted, I've seen enough. This is my quarterback.
I remember all off season. Is he the real deal? Is he the guy we want? Do we bring in competition? Because you got rid of Carson Wentz, and I don't know who you brought in as the backup.
We have Gardner Minshew the whole time. That was it.
Yeah, and he took you to the playoffs his first year as a true starter, and you lost to a pretty
shit. He took us to the playoffs last year.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He took you last year when you were the official starter.
Yeah.
And he had to go against Super Bowl reigning MVP Tom Brady and
on the
road in Tampa with all the fake fans. And then this year he takes us like, I'm proud of the guy. I'm proud of your team. Like y'all did your shit, but it's Patrick Mahomes, bro. Patrick Mahomes will do that to you. It's sad.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's like I can't say nothing about that. I mean, it was Patrick Mahomes. Like the whole night, I just kept dreaming, it's Patrick Mahomes, man. There's nothing you can do about it, bro. It's Patrick Mahomes. Like you just kind of you got to just shake his hand and just move on because you just don't want it to happen to your team. You see, I cheer for Patrick Mahomes. I see Patrick Mahomes do this so many times. So I've always been on the right end of that argument. This time I'm like, damn, it really does hurt on this side. Yeah, but I'm happy that I'm able to laugh about it now because I was down in the dump for the last couple of days. But it's
that's the point. And this is your let it all out moment right here. Let it all out. Yeah, you're better to do it with me. I'm not gonna give you shit. You know that.
Yeah, it just sucks. It just sucks. And for the dumbasses who texted me like dumb shit, like, and you think I'm actually gonna respond to you, like, come on, man.
We preached about that last week. Think of it from my point of view. I'm never gonna see my team make a Super Bowl ever.
You can't say never. You got sauce. You got sauce.
We got 2 rookies of the year, baby. I love it.
You got sauce. You got Gary. And you got your running back coming back next year. All y'all need is a quarterback.
See, that's going to be fun. Can't wait.
Which is a good transition to get to the NFL offseason.
Like what I did there.
Obviously, there's a lot of just rumors and this and that. Because the thing about the NFL, it doesn't stop. As soon as the Super Bowl ends, the first thing people talk about is like, all right,
2 weeks,
draft, free agency, new league year, this, that, Derek Carr. Like so much is going on. So I made like I don't know, if what you've been paying attention to. I'll just start off with the Eagles, and then you could go to the Jets, and then we'll go to like the big news in the league. So obviously this offseason is going to be really key for our success moving forward.
Masterclass 2.0.
Yeah, you can only hope so. For what Howie Roseman did last year, for him to repeat that is going to be very tough. But at least I know he has it in him now. Like at least I know, like, all right, he's not going to screw us up that bad. So we already lost both of our coordinators. My cousin, dumbass, he's a Giants fan. He texted me. He's been texting me since Sunday night. I have not responded to him once. Was crying, all this bullshit. If he was here, I'd just punch him in the face right now. But anyway, he did. Then he texted me yesterday. Damn, y'all lost your OC and DC after I just lost the Super Bowl. Damn, I was like, woo, man. I was irate when I saw that.
How did those haystacks work out at receiver for you, bro?
We lost Steichen. We lost Gannon. I think first and foremost, the Brian Johnson, we brought him from the University of Florida. He 1,000% needs to be our offensive coordinator next. I think he had a big impact on the play calling that Steichen was calling. So I think offensively, we've already situated that from a coaching standpoint. There's no other person in our locker room or out there that already knows our system the way Brian Johnson knows it. That's why we ran a very college-like / pro-like offense, and him coming from UF really helped with that. Defensive coordinator, I don't know who the hell is available because, again, I have not been paying attention to football lately. I don't know if you've heard anybody that's come available. I don't know if you know anything.
Um, I know the Bucks just signed. Oh no, that was offensive coordinator.
They signed, yeah, the quarterback coach from the
Yeah.
Seahawks.
D coordinator. I really don't know.
According to Fan Nation, 5 guys that they said that we should probably look into. Our secondary coach, Denard Wilson, Sean Desai of the Seahawks, our linebackers coach, Saints defensive coach, John. There's nobody here. There's nobody here that looks anything exciting to me. So defensively, like we might be screwed. Says not only defensive coordinator is gone. Now let's look at the free agents. All right. Defensively, James Bradbury's free agent. Fletcher Cox, free agent. TJ Edwards, free agent. CJ Gardner Johnson, free agent. Brandon Graham, free agent. Javon Hargrave, free agent. Robert Quinn is another free agent. Like our whole defense is a free agent. So obviously we had a historic pass rush this season that got us this far. They didn't come through for us in the Super Bowl, but we need to get a lot of those guys back because Kaiser White is also a free agent and Ndamukong Suh is a free agent. So that's just defense. Offensively, we don't know if Kelsey's going to retire or come back for another year. Our right guard, Seumalo. Oh, no, he's our left guard. Seumalo. No, whatever, right guard. He's a free agent. Our backup quarterback is a free agent, Gardner Minshew. Miles Sanders is a free agent. Boston Scott's a free agent. Marcus Epps. It's
a lot.
We have a lot of holes to fill. The only thing that gives me happiness and joy is that we have Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, and AJ Brown and Dallas Goedert. As long as we got them,
and Hassan Reddick.
And yeah, defensively, you have Hassan Reddick, and that's it. Josh Sweat, and Darius Slay. And Darius Slay is getting older, so we have a lot of holes to fill. We have 2 first-round picks. I don't know where we go with that. I got to see who's coming up in free agency, but I think first thing first, this needs to address the defensive coordinator, make sure Brian Johnson is the offensive coordinator, and then out of that list of guys, we need to identify like a top 5 from that list and make sure they don't leave the locker room. Like Fletcher Cox, I love Fletcher Cox. He's getting old. I'm not going to be sad if he plays for another team. As long as it's not the Eagles or the Giants, I'm not going to be sad if he retires or goes to another team. And he's been, him, Lane Johnson, and Jason Kelsey have been like Andy Reid guys. Like we've had them forever. But outside of that, CJ Gardner Johnson, I mean, that dude was hitting on Sunday when he could. I mean, so I need someone like him in the back. I mean, he led the league in interceptions this year and missed 5 games. So I need him. Bradbury, I would love to have him back. If he has to go somewhere because we're not gonna be able to pay him what he wants, that's fine. As long as we replace him with somebody of equal talent or draft somebody. And then Jason Kelsey, I would love to see him come back again to try to give it one more go. Miles Sanders and Boston Scott, we got to keep Boston Scott because he's probably going to be cheap. Miles Sanders, though, I needed him to do more on Sunday for me to want him to keep that job. Kenneth Gainwell is pretty damn good. And this draft, we can get, homeboy from Texas. So, running back is one of those things in which you don't have to kind of go overboard with, or you end up like the Cowboys and paying Zeke Elliott 5 years and he's not doing anything the last 2 years. So we have a lot of holes to fill, and it's going to be very interesting and emotional next few months. But the farther away we move from the Super Bowl, the better I'll start to feel once Howie Roseman starts that masterclass. So Jets, what y'all got going
on? For us, it's mostly depth.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of depth. Our biggest free agents are going to be Quan Alexander, Vinny Curry. I'm looking at the list now. Rankins, Solomon Thomas. I really liked him a lot. Quincy Williams, and our kicker Zerline. James Robinson. Those are our biggest free agents there. George Fant, I guess he's expendable. I do know they're probably going to cut Carl Lawson. They'll be able to save some money on the cap there.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard Braxton Berrios being another guy to possibly cut or take a pay cut, which I think he definitely deserves to take a pay cut. I don't, he
Yeah,
had one
yeah.
good year and it's just a little Swiss Army knife that's gonna get fizzled out. Michael Carter is another one they're talking about possibly cutting. They want to do everything they can to be competitive in the quarterback market because that's obviously what we really need. The defense is young. The defense is gelling well.
Mm-hmm.
I think you bring back some of those guys like a Solomon Thomas, a Vinnie Curry, definitely a Quan Alexander for the locker room. Those are guys definitely that I think make an impact on your defense. Quan Alexander definitely for sure. But
The
we
big
need
thing
to.
for y'all, what do you think y'all gonna do with the quarterback? Because I don't know what this
There's
situation.
there's
So
two
what have you been
there's two
hearing?
routes. There's two routes we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
The number one route that we're taking, and I keep seeing it every day, is Aaron Rodgers. That is the number one route that we are
Because
going
of
to.
homeboy is there now.
Nathaniel
Hackett.
Hackett and Downing. It makes sense. I'm not mad with it. Option two is they are paying very, very close attention to Baltimore. They're because now there's word that Baltimore may even look outside and possibly trade him. There's a whole lot of things going on there. And
Man, that's stupid.
we talk a lot and say, oh, that's not gonna happen, but it happens. This shit does happen. Like I'm a true believer that anything can happen. So does Lamar need to get paid? Absolutely, he does. Do they want to pay him? I don't know. Why haven't they taken care of that yet?
Oh wow! An hour ago, insider links Jets with Ravens, Lamar Jackson, amid Aaron
I'm
Rodgers
on top of
rumors.
this, bro. I am on top of this, man. I am on top of this. The Mike White is a free agent too. I think we're gonna let him walk.
Mm-hmm.
I strongly disagree with that. I strongly disagree with it. I have to say, like, we got to be like the Eagles here. Cut your ties with Carson Wentz, cut your ties with Zach Wilson, and move on from it. It
Mm-hmm.
was a bonehead draft. He put a bad taste in people's mouth. Uh,
But we
I
did
feel
it by drafting. Do you think y'all would draft a quarterback?
I don't see it this year. Maybe next year I could
So
see it.
drafting a quarterback, it's cheaper for you guys to do something like
It
that
is.
rather than
It is.
paying Lamar Jackson $230 million.
It is, but you guys took Jalen Hurts at a steal. I feel like the NFL disrespected his caliber of player. He
Mm-hmm.
had a fucking Heisman type season and lost to Joe Burrow or whoever the fuck it was. Like he's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't want him to draft a quarterback this year. Um, if they think they can get something out of Zach Wilson, okay. But no, it sucks to see Mike White go. I like the guy. He's paid his dues. I don't want to sit here and stick on the Jets too long. Like our biggest hole is quarterback. We need to fill that position. We've already fired the offensive coordinator, brought in Hackett. We brought in a passing coordinator in Downing. And draft. I don't know what they do in the first round. I would think they get another O lineman. That's what I think they really need, an O line
What pick?
or secondary. It's middle of the pack.
Okay.
I'm gonna say like 15, 16. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
Somewhere
I'll ask my statistician.
at it, like that. But we've accumulated a lot of picks too. We have a good amount of picks this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I need these boys to get busy.
Y'all are picking 13th. So yeah, that's almost dead smack in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. So all in all, New York looks fun to come play for.
Mm-hmm.
If you're young and talent and your team's not going to pay you, come on down, baby. It's fun over here.
You sound
Hopefully,
like Suge Knight.
if you don't want the what would he say?
Dancing in the videos.
Dancing all in the videos.
Come on over to Death Row Records.
Come on over to New York. Yeah, come over to the real New York. Jets are going to have a good year next year. I'm not poo-pooing on them. I'm so proud of them this year. They have made me a fan again.
I'm happy to hear you say that.
They put the spark in me. It just hurt to see the last the last couple games. But I know why they did it, but it doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm just a believer in, like, if you threw the shit against the wall and it didn't stick, like, it's the wrong shit.
Yeah.
You know, Zach Wilson ain't it. And it sucks he's the number 2 pick, but axe it.
Baker Mayfield Carson Wentz, number 2 pick.
That's what I'm saying.
We're not losing any sleep over that.
Baker Mayfield, axed. Yeah. Like, it has to happen. Like, just get it done. Yeah. Get it done. So I don't know what it is, but I'm excited for free agency. I really am. I'm truly excited.
So if you don't get one of those 2 big fishes as far as Rodgers or Lamar, what would be a happy outcome for you?
The other two that they're linked to is Derek Carr and Jimmy Garoppolo. Those are the other 2 they're linked to.
That's fair. That's better than Zach Wilson. So
I would be happy with this order. Lamar Jackson obviously won. Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, holding on to like each other, like close, very close. I'm with either or of those because I think Derek Carr just gets a very bad rap and has to put up with so much shit that
him and Salah will be good because they're both very passionate.
Yeah, and I just think the Oakland, LA, their head is not in the game of football. Yeah. They just want to make money because they're in LA.
That's Al Davis family for you.
He's had too many coordinators. He had to deal with Ruggs, had to deal with Gruden. Like, bless that man's heart. He's good. He's better than his brother. And then Jimmy Garoppolo is just a bridge because he's worked with Salah before on the offensive side, but he's been in that locker room with him. So
and he'll probably get hurt by week 8. So you're gonna have to need Mike White to take over from then.
And for the shit show, we want you to learn. So we'll see if the shit sticks for the 3rd time.
Yeah. All right. So to kind of spin off of that, then obviously Aaron Rodgers has been linked to a lot of 4-day trips and ayahuasca, whatever the hell. Y'all voted on our page. I think it was a tie between ayahuasca, peyote, and the mushrooms. So I guess he's gonna get high and make up his mind.
Any other player would go to jail, but Aaron Rodgers can say, I'm going on a dark trail.
Hey, it's legal in Costa Rica, wherever he's going. So do you think he's going to leave the Packers in any shape or form?
In my heart, he was just on the McAfee show. Mm-hmm. And he said at the end of the interview, I think it was something along the lines of like, I'm always going to be here. Like, this is my home. This is home for me. So I'm kind of leaning towards he wants to be there. But if the organization is like, we've had enough of this shit, and this kid on the bench, like, we drafted him that high for a reason. We don't want to cut ties with that just yet.
They did the same thing with Brett Favre. Like, it got to this same exact time. They're like, look, man, you keep playing, monkey with us, and we don't know. We got this kid, man. We got this kid.
The thing with Aaron Rodgers is, we sit here and we cast stones at him. We say he's weird, all of this shit. But in all actuality, it's the organization that doesn't step up for him. Like, they don't step up.
Oh, and we've been saying.
I think we've talked about this before. Yeah, it's like a 3-headed monster between your front office, your head coach, and your quarterback. Your quarterback says, "Get me receivers." You draft no receivers in the draft at all for him. The front office is like, we want to start this kid. He threatens to leave. He says, I want this guy fired. They come to a resolution. Like, it's just like the Bermuda Triangle. Like, it's not pretty.
It's because they have no owner. They have nobody at the top to like calm shit down. Like, it's like Wild Wild West over there.
Yeah, it's like the owner of the drugstore comes in, is like, hey guys, let's everybody be happy.
I got 2% stake on this team, so what's up?
Yeah. Aaron's like, let me get some ayahuasca, homie. I think personally that he stays. I think he stays, and then this is his last year. This is his last hoorah. They give him another receiver there, and then he's done after this year. Like, he's out the league.
So if he's, because I think the same thing. I don't see him going to the Jets especially because Brett Favre went there. I don't think he wants to go follow exactly word for word Brett Favre's story. One Super Bowl and then bounce around from from New York to Minnesota and then Bounty Gate, all that bullshit. So I don't see that with him.
If he goes anywhere, he's going to Vegas. That's where he's going. I
Yeah,
see him
with
going to
Devontae, I could definitely see
Vegas.
that.
Yeah. They want that bromance back.
And he gets an opportunity to play under McDaniels. I think he would definitely like that too. So I could see that. If I had to guess, not Oakland, Las Vegas makes probably the most sense because Devontae Adams is obviously going to recruit him. He's already put it out there, like, what zip code is he going to play? And he said mine. So but if he doesn't, what does that mean for Jordan Love? I mean, he's under contract until this year, and they can exercise his 5th-year option. We don't really know who he is. Like, we don't know what he is. So, I mean, what do you think they do with him?
This is what I hate about sports is like you draft talent. In my opinion, they should have never drafted Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
He should have never been a Packer day one. That was like a spite move. That was a spite move to say, get the fuck out, Aaron. And then Aaron held the fucking organization by the balls and was like, I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking. He did his best Jordan Belfort moment right there. I'm not fucking leaving. So it's a shame. It's almost Trey Lance-esque in a way. Like, we don't have a lot of.
They want him to start though.
Who?
Trey Lance. He just so happened to get hurt.
Yeah, I know.
They've been trying to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo for years.
No. I know, and they brought it back, and then Brock Purdy happens, and now you're like, what do I do? Brock Purdy, what's going to happen here? So this is what I say is like, we get enticed by the shiny objects.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see the shiny object. We saw Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy could go play next year, and they'd be like, oh, we got tape. This dude's ass. Like, he's a real ass, and shit could go down. And I'm not praying for that. I hope Brock Purdy is like that dude. I really do. But with Jordan Love's situation, it's just unfortunate you've had to sit there, be a clipboard holder. I haven't seen any like emotion from him. Like, is he pissed or anything? Do you know?
I
Every
mean,
year,
you remember when Brock Purdy got hurt, Jimmy Garoppolo was laughing on the sideline like, well, if you ain't got no more quarterback. Yeah. I've not seen any emotion from Jordan Love whatsoever.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. Like, he's been patient. Kind of like how Aaron Rodgers was patient sitting behind Brett Favre.
Bruh, can you imagine? They drafted Jordan Love first round, number 26 overall in the 2020 draft. Just some of the names that got drafted after him, it's just gonna bother me. Like, as I read this, Patrick Queen, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, T. Higgins, Michael Pittman Jr., DeAndre Swift. Oh my God, Xavier McKinney, Jonathan Taylor, Antoine Winfield Jr., Chase Claypool, Trevon Diggs, Jalen Hurts, Cam Akers. Like, if they completely botched that draft pick, because like they could have got Jalen Hurts and we would have had to get Jordan Love. Like, that's why if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm allowed to play this game, because what have y'all really done for me? Like, what have y'all got rid of Kumaro? I don't forgive y'all for that. Y'all got rid of Jordy Nelson. I don't forgive y'all for that. The only thing he's able to get back was Randall Cobb, and Randall Cobb is on his last breath right now.
Randall Cobb was literally a crutch for him in that loss. That's
it. So it's like, I understand why he's doing what he's doing. I do think he's a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puff sometimes, but at the end of the day, we all go through the same thing. We all have our moments where we're all just emotional and we just handle it how we handle it. He's had failed relationships and his family doesn't love him, and he's a lot of shit.
Aaron is a very weird person. We can agree to that.
Yeah.
But as far as the whole Jordan Love thing, like, it's unfortunate. It's just an unfortunate, and it's something that I hate about sports.
Yeah.
Is drafting shit that you don't need and letting it tarnish. You're literally tarnishing this kid's career. Every year he's getting older. Every year he's
not getting better by not playing.
Exactly. If he's not playing, then what are you really doing?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's unfortunate, but that was a spite move. In my opinion, Jordan Love shouldn't have never been a Packer. And I tip my hat to the guy. He could have just been like, dude, I'm done with this shit. Like, please trade me.
What
Please send
leverage
me.
does he have? He has no leverage.
But regardless, he could just say, trade me. Like, I'm over
And
this.
they're gonna be like, nah. They're just gonna be like, nah.
True, but what was the cheesemaker going to be like? I'm not trading that guy. I don't know the Packers organization that well,
Yeah, I
but
mean they do
like
have a GM. Gutekunst is still responsible for that. So
he is.
that
So like
obviously, but
I have to tip my hat that he's just been. Aaron did it. I'm going to do it. I want to believe that's entirely. I don't know if he's a shitty teammate. I don't know if he's a shitty guy. I don't know anything because I don't hear anything. So I have to assume that this is how he is. So I tip my hat to the guy. Wait it out, and if you play, you play. If you don't, they're a stupid organization that just cut you.
so gun to your head, Aaron Rodgers plays for who next year?
The Green Bay Packers.
Same. And if not, I'll probably say the Raiders as well. All right,
Pull
now
the fucking trigger.
we're keeping it quarterback, Lamar Jackson. What you
Lamar
got?
Jackson will be franchise tagged and will be a Baltimore Raven.
You think he's gonna play under that tag or he's gonna hold out?
And then the New
Because it's
York
another
Jets
1 year
will
deal.
trade to get him. That's what I think.
Oh. What are y'all gonna give up for Lamar?
Give up a king's ransom, bro. Give up picks for however many years they want. Give up. I don't care. Give Zach Wilson in the shit. I don't know, bro. I'm curious to see. Like, you told me to believe in Joe Douglas. I don't believe in the guy until this year. He got me 2, possibly could have been 3 if they had a category for every position. Like, Brees Hall was on his way to being a fucking monster of a player. 2 rookie of the year, offense and defensive for the team.
Mm-hmm.
So I got faith in the guy. I'm curious to see what he can do. I don't know how many first round draft picks they want. I know it's going to be more than Deshaun Watson. I would imagine so because he definitely has a MVP under his belt. Unanimous. Yeah, exactly. So curious to see. Anything is possible though. So we'll find out.
And what sucks is that Deshaun Watson 230 guaranteed. He didn't, even when he was playing this year, it wasn't like he's obviously rusty. And on top of the fact that he has all this pending legal charges against him, right? And then you flip on over to Russell Wilson, 5 years, $245 million. He was horrible this year. Horrible. So like Lamar, if I'm Lamar, I'm like, yo, those are your 2 examples of $230 and $245 million quarterbacks. Price tag don't went up. And then obviously he's going to want more guaranteed contract because of the style of play. And the only way, I just don't, so they have to give up a king's ransom. Whoever has to give up a king's ransom to go get him. I know people talk about the Bucks. The Bucks don't have no money. The Jets, y'all gonna have to give up the whole enchilada. And I don't know if Joe Douglas is giving up no enchilada for a quarterback.
Here's my real thought on it. I think he gets franchise tag, and I think he stays in Baltimore. I think the relationship gets patched up. I think they work out a deal before July or whatever the date is. I think he becomes the highest paid quarterback in football. That's what I really think happens.
But so according to the Athletics, Jeff Zrebiec, the Ravens seem highly unlikely to offer Jackson a fully guaranteed contract. Now, remember, Lamar Jackson doesn't have an agent, okay? He is his own agent. And, it's so easy for us young people under the age of 30, he's 25, 24, to be stubborn. And if he's like, look, I am not playing unless the contract is fully guaranteed. I mean, what can they do if they're not going to give him the fully guaranteed contract? And then
within that time frame, bro, I'm telling you.
I mean, look at Huntley. I know it's just a flag football game. He was dealing, and the coach is like, yo, there's obviously something there. I mean, him and Mark Andrews were clicking. I know it's just a flag football game, but the relationship seems to be there. Their style's pretty similar. He's just not as talented as Lamar Jackson, and that's the problem. But,
I personally think Baltimore, but whoever gets them, I hope the Jets are being aggressive on it. If they are, king's ransom is going to be given. That's all I can say, and that's all I know.
Oh, this dude needs an agent, man, because it's so hard to kind of have these conversations about yourself with somebody when you can have somebody representing you to do that for you. It's like having a lawyer is a lot better than trying to represent yourself sometimes. Like it is what it is. So I don't know. I don't know where that's going to lead to, but
I got a
that
feeling in the
one's
coming
tough.
days. I got a feeling in the coming days he'll be getting a lawyer or an agent. I
Okay.
got
Now let's keep the let's kind of finish with the quarterback carousel. So there's obviously Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo. Who else is on the market right now?
That's it that I know of.
Damn, that's a small. There's normal. Yeah.
I
All
think
right.
Gino's going to be available too.
Gino, they're not gonna let him go. They can't let him go.
I agree. I agree.
They can't let him go. So according to the free agent list tracker, Tom Brady is technically a free agent. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Teddy Bridge again, Daniel Jones, Gino. Those are like the most relevant names. Mike White, Lane Gabbert. So I mean, out of those names, Derek Carr. What's your gut telling you with that one?
With all of those players, or just in general?
No, where he's going to end up?
Who? Derek Carr?
Yeah,
Derek Carr is tricky. I'll tell you, the team he's not going to is Vegas. That's for sure.
he made that clear, crystal.
I know the Saints are courting him. I know Carolina wants him. I know the Bucks want him. I don't think the Bucks can afford him. Yeah, I think he's going to end up in New Orleans. I got a really good feeling of him ending up in New Orleans.
His brother is talking about the Bucks are probably the best fit for him, and he's going to listen to Big Bro. So
yeah, that would be the best fit for him. I agree.
I could see that,
but I just don't think the Bucks are going to be that aggressive with the play caller they just signed. I think Baker Mayfield is going to be the guy they're going to get in Tampa. I'm being serious.
I mean, it is tricky with him because he's not bad. Okay, he's just not great. He's just really good enough just to be good enough, and I just don't know who could use that type of player. I know the Panthers could. Who's the coach now there? Oh, Frank Reich. So it comes down to like, what is Frank Reich like? He liked Nick Foles. He liked Carson Wentz. Who's the most like them? Derek Carr is probably the more. Derek Carr probably fits that mold a little bit more. I could see, and then the Saints. So I mean, Jameis is still there. They don't want Jameis anymore at all, or
cut him.
Damn. I say he ends up in. I say he ends up in Carolina. I say Jimmy Garoppolo ends up in Tampa because it's a similar offense to what he was already. Well, it's not anymore because Leftwich is gone and Brady's gone. So never mind. But I think that kind of would make sense for me is they get like a Garoppolo. Where do you think Garoppolo goes?
Jets, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's where I think that's who we're going to get. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be the guy.
Sam Darnold, you think he re-ups with Carolina or head on down to the Saints or something?
I don't know. He's going to have a prove-it role or he's going to be a competition quarterback.
Okay. And finally, what should the Giants do with Daniel Jones?
Pay the man.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think I talked about it last week. Them having Dayball really helps him a lot. So pay the man. But do they pay him, or if it came down to him and Saquon, who do you pay?
I told you I'd pay Saquon, but
I say pay the quarterback.
They're going to pay them both. They're both. Those are the two only like two big contracts.
They also need receivers. They need receivers.
Just draft them. Got through them with haystacks last year. There's going to be some haystack that's going to come through the door and be like, hey. So
yeah,
we'll see.
And then looking at some like coaching changes, like how much do you think Sean Payton's going to help out Russell Wilson and that whole situation over there?
Man, if Sexy Rexy goes over there, I'm going to love it.
Is that on the table?
That's on the table. He interviewed.
That's going to be a second team?
I'm a huge Rex Ryan fan.
I love like Rex Ryan. I love the whole Ryan family. Buddy Ryan used to be Eagles coach, and just yeah.
I met him, nicest guy in the world, bro. Like I was talk bullshit with him. He was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Yeah, we're going down to Bonita,
He probably
why?"
cussed a lot.
Oh yeah, he was fucking cussing up a storm. I was dying because I used to work at a restaurant and
Mm-hmm.
I was a waiter, and I called my roommate, my boy, who was also a Jets fan. I was like, "Bro, God is in here right now. Get your ass
How
here
big
right."
was he in person? Big dude,
But
right?
yeah, he's pretty big.
Yeah,
He's lost a lot of weight since he was the coach of the Jets,
for
but he was
sure.
big then.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, he was a super nice dude. I think Sean Payton is definitely a plus for him.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Payton is a quarterback guru. I think Sean Payton is an amazing play caller. I think Sean Payton will get the best of a team, and that team needed leadership, and it looked
Yeah.
like they hired like the me. I always use this as my go to the meme of the guy who like got hired for the elevator technician. He's like
Yeah.
day 365. I still don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's what I got out of Nathaniel Hackett. He was like going up to press conference like, "All right, guys, we gotta like we gotta be great." Like I
Yeah.
just
I really wish there was a they did Hard Knocks like during the season for the Broncos. I really wanted to see how he is as like
I did too. I would have
yeah.
loved.
That would have been really good.
Some guys just need to be coordinators,
Yeah.
and you want a cringe-worthy Hard Knocks? Watch that Arizona one,
I
bro. Like
can't. I
I,
can't.
oh, bro,
That
I
one
felt
already know is gonna be cringeworthy. I can't even watch that.
I felt so bad for Cliff Kingsbury. I
Yeah.
felt so bad for him the entire time because like he was so positive to his team, and it was like Kyler wasn't having that
You
shit.
take on the image of your quarterback, and Kyler Murray is the most immature quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion.
I
I
agree.
mean, him and Baker Mayfield are very immature, in my opinion.
We'll see what your former defensive coordinator does over there. So
That's that's not a good hire for them, by the way.
I
And
don't
I
think
love
so
Gannon.
either.
That's a horrible hire. They need somebody to coach Kyler Murray. They need somebody to control Kyler Murray. Jonathan
Eric
Gannon has no nah.
Eric Bieniemy would have been the perfect candidate over there for that.
And
I
that
would
brings me to keep speaking of coaches. What is
look at what I'm doing.
I
I'm
know we
doing
do that. We do that. We do that. What the hell? Like what the hell? Like, all right. I love what Steichen did for us for 2 years, right? He is not better qualified than Eric Bieniemy to get a head coaching job by any means. The
I
Colts
don't.
made this mistake with Frank Reich, and now they made this mistake with our other offensive coordinator. Like they back-to-back offensive coordinators they've hired, and it's not. I mean, what is going on?
I really want to know because like when I see him talk, he's got a little Joe Biden vibes to him, kind of like wishy-washy, slurs some words a little, but he's very insightful. I hate when people use the word articulate for black people when they talk. I absolutely like despise that so much.
Yeah,
So I
because
won't
it's
say
this
he's
undertone.
articulate.
There's a lot of undertone there.
Exactly. So I wouldn't say the word articulate. I think he's very witty on the way he phrases things for you to think about it. Maybe that hurts him.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was listening to Stephen A this morning, and he did say something I kind of agree with him, that as much as we have and love and respect Andy Reid as a coach, he's hurt Eric Bieniemy's chances to be a head coach because he does take on the play calling sometimes.
But
so
Nick Sirianni wasn't calling plays with the Colts. Sean McVay wasn't calling plays when he was in his last situation. So it's not like he's the only person that's never called plays before. And
yeah, and I agree as well. But I just think it comes down to what we preach every year. The NFL is a corrupt, semi-racist organization.
Old boys club.
And how many black head coaches are there now? Is it just Mike Tomlin still?
No, there's Tomlin, D'Amico Ryan. Shout out to him. I just wish he didn't go to the Texans, even though he's from like that is a cute story. But yeah, I don't trust their ownership at all with black coaches. Yeah. They just use them as scapegoats every year. So, but Steve Wilson got get dirty. Tampa.
Todd Bowles.
And then Mike McDaniels. Mike McDaniels is a minority hire.
All right, we'll see. Yeah, and Todd Bowles has got one foot out the door almost, it looks like. Like they're ready to run him out just because they couldn't win with Tom Brady. Like, fuck you guys, seriously. I don't understand it. The guy is a guru. He's done this with Mahomes. They've gone to back AFC championships. Like, what more do you need him to do? What more do you want him to do?
Change his skin color. That's what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is sad to say. Because, like, think about it. How Matt Nagy came from that same offense, got a head coaching job. Nick Sirianni came from that same offense, eventually got a head coaching job. Like, a lot of people have come from that Colts, that Chiefs and Eagles, like under Andy Reid, doing the same thing that Eric Bieniemy is doing now, and all of them have become head coaches except for him.
And I want to believe that, like, it's on him, but I just don't. I don't believe it's on him. I just think that guy doesn't look like me. I don't think people would want to root for him. Dude, whoever's going to hire him is going to have an exceptional team. Mm-hmm. They're going to have an exceptional team. And if, because he didn't rule it out, if Andy Reid would retire, I would hope they gave him the keys.
Bet you they wouldn't.
I bet you they wouldn't.
Bet you they wouldn't. Now, I remember a couple months ago, LaShawn McCoy was very critical about Eric Bieniemy. I guess I remember him and Patrick Mahomes got into a little spat on the field, and LaShawn McCoy came out and said some shit like, "Why do you think he doesn't get a head coaching job?" I think maybe he rubs people the wrong way. Maybe his leadership is not what they want, but if you're able to go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes and tell him when he's wrong, and eventually that same guy wins the Super Bowl because of your way of controlling him and managing him, that to me is a head coach. Like, that's what you got to do. So I just, and then he said McCoy said this, all Bieniemy does is argue with players. He knows nothing about passing or play calling. That's from LaShawn McCoy, who did play there for a year or two, whatever it was. So,
listen, I love McCoy, but like, you weren't a factor to that team. I'm sorry, you weren't in the playbook, and that just sounds like more like a disgruntled player that your worth, and you want to be able to play more, but they're going another route. Guys that have been there, not guys that are picking up off the streets to help them win a Super Bowl. No offense.
Yeah.
That's that.
But you do got to take the word of somebody who's around it. Like, here's some more. He talks to players a certain way, and some players take it. And I would, but there's some questions I'm going to ask. Everyone's accountable. It's not because he's a black coach that he's not getting hired. That's not the reason. No one hires him because they know what type of coach he really is. So it could just be they haven't had anybody vouch for him other than Andy Reid.
Quality coordinator, basically, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe it is. I don't know.
And we have learned some people are better off as coordinators anyway. Like, to me, Josh McDaniels in the Raiders now, he's clearly a better offensive coordinator than he is the head coach.
Well, his contract
Bill O'Brien.
His contract is I thought Bill O'Brien was a decent
head coach, but he's a great offensive coordinator.
Shouldn't have been a GM and a coach.
Yeah, he's a great offensive coordinator, though. I mean, like, he's had that.
The enemy's contract is up.
I mean, I know he was looking at that Ravens job, but the Ravens got a buddy from Georgia.
I know. Why would this is the best, the MVP guy. Like, I don't get
the college kid.
He's gonna go to Washington. Washington is gonna hire him, and it's like, really, you're not gonna keep this guy?
I don't know. Like, it's just,
I'm over it.
I don't know what happens with that, but, and I mean, again, when you look back, even I'll take Bieniemy out the situation. Obviously, again, shout out to D'Amico Ryans for getting that job. I mean, they didn't have a choice. His defense was top notch this year, and he had them boys. He had them boys on their shit. So, being from the Houston Texans organization, they had no choice but to hire him. So Josh McCown got beat out again. But if you think about it, once again, it's just it comes back to that problem. It's literally, Todd Bowles, D'Amico Ryans, Mike Tomlin. I don't know. That's it. Like it's still a very low number. You look at the NBA, it's like very equal there. It's like what the hell. So yeah, I don't know. It's just tough. It's just tough when a sport has 70% African American people. I mean, you probably want to have somebody who looks like them that can relate to them better to lead these kind of people. Every now and then.
Salah. I guess Salah is like you can throw him in there as well. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, if you go like straight minority, maybe there's like 5 or 6. Because Ron Rivera. But still, it's still a low number. Like, let's be honest. And a lot of these guys are undeserving of jobs that have these jobs.
And that's what I preach every time. We get attracted to the shiny object.
Correct.
Okay. How many years were your coordinators there doing that? How many years were they doing that shit?
Mm-hmm.
1 or 2 years? 1 or 2 years you had that? Flash in the pan, and then you're a head coach. I'm sorry. Like
literally. I love Shane Steichen, my offensive coordinator. Literally 2 years. Literally.
I agree, man. I just think it's goofy, man. So, but then again, I'm not in the hiring process.
Yep, it's not our job.
Some people need yes men, and that's maybe the way the organizations roll. So
yeah. All right. Anything else? Anything else in NFL that you're gonna be looking forward to this offseason? Outside of Jets and draft and stuff like that.
I'm really looking forward to next season. I'm getting my Sauce jersey, getting ready to get that bad boy. I might get a Garrett Wilson jersey. Might get a Breece Hall jersey. I'm excited for draft day. I'm excited for it all. Like I'm really back now, and it feels good to be back.
Yeah,
because my favorite player's in the Hall of Fame. He got his inductee in. Congratulations, Darrell.
Shout out to Rondé Barber too. Finally,
yeah, finally, seriously. That should have been my background today. Damn, I fucked up. But yeah, man, I'm happy for them. I'm happy for Revis. The torch has been passed to Sauce. They have a very good relationship too. Mm-hmm. They have a good relationship. So if Sauce can learn anything, it's definitely a thing or two from Darrell. So
and just since we're on that, just really quickly, Rondé Barber, Joe Thomas, Don Cornell, Chuck Howley, DeMarcus Ware.
Oh, finally too.
What's his name? Joe Thomas and Zach Thomas. To me, that one was really cool. That one was really cool. I saw the video too. That one was really cool. DeMarcus Ware obviously is that was a slam dunk. Now I know coming up next year, there's a lot of receivers that could be on there. Andre Johnson, Torrey Holt, I think is still on there. A lot. So I'm interested to see how that one goes. But yeah, shout out to them. I feel like this offseason, I think they need to focus on they need to make this officiating thing. Like it's been really bad. This playoffs,
I agree.
The officiating in this playoffs was horrendous. And that's like your best officials are calling the games in the playoffs, right? That's how it's supposed to work, especially the Super Bowl. Any veteran official would know not to call that foul on James Bradbury to end the game like that. Like that's just poor to me. And I feel like, and I'm not trying to make an excuse, but I'm just, it all comes, I mean, think about it. Cincinnati in their head probably should be in that game because they got wronged in that last game as well. So you could just see it, you could just see it across the board. It was a bad officiating system, this playoff. So something needs to work on there. And then turf. They need to get rid of turf and just go to grass. Because too many ACL injuries, too many slipping and falling, just too much non-contact injuries with quarterbacks. You want to protect quarterbacks. They try to protect quarterbacks, and concussions were up this year. Concussions were up, and people are tearing ACL left and right like it's normal, like it's Black Friday and everybody's just doing it, right? So I don't know. They need to come to an agreement with, because it's not like that many people prefer turf anyway. It's very rare that people prefer the turf. A lot of receivers might like the turf because it's easier for them to get up and go, and some of it's easier to cut. But at the end of the day, we grow up playing in grass. Keep that shit in grass. Like this is there's way too much money on the line.
And poll it. That's what they should do. Poll it amongst the players.
Yeah.
Poll it amongst the players and staff, the people that are literally on there, and then make a solution after that. But it's becoming a stupid topic. It's literally a stupid topic. Everybody, and the way I hate it, it becomes a topic. I know we're going like way too long on all this, but real quick. Everybody, when a game doesn't end the way that you wanted it to go, that's your fallback every time. Oh, it was a turf field, this, and that. That's why we lost. Like the NFL has to listen.
On May 13th, 2022, a recent poll done for NFL players, 72% of players prefer playing on natural grass. 72%.
And there it goes.
Are you kidding me?
I bet
72.
I bet you the rest were all receivers.
Gee, probably like 72%. That's more than enough to say, yo, we got to do that. So they say typically, like in politics, like 2/3 of the vote or whatever. This is way past 2/3 of the vote. So I don't know. So that's, to me, that's like the big thing over the summer. And then also, what does Chicago Bears do with that number 1 pick? Because they already got Justin Fields, and Bryce Young is right there, and CJ Stroud is right there. So I'm very curious to see what they do. Who's going to pay the King's ransom to get that pick? If it's not them, who gets that pick? So yeah, there's a lot going on. All right, NBA.
Let's talk about it.
We've reached the All-Star break. Essentially, we're here now. First half of the season has been marred with injuries for the main players: Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Lamar Jackson. Oh my God!
Holy trade deadline, though.
Yeah, and then the trade deadline happened, and then, a lot of teams' fortunes have changed. We were on the record earlier this season saying Phoenix was done. And then they go get freaking Kevin Durant at midnight. I get a text from A-Rod at like 12:32 p.m. or a.m. I hate KD. I was like, what do you do now? And then the update comes on my phone, like, you got to be kidding me.
I called that. I said he was going to.
You did? Right? We literally just recorded the night before, or whatever.
I want my flowers. I listened to it. I was like, damn, I did that. I said that. I knew
it was supposed to happen last summer. And
did you think KD wanted to play with that? I know he wants to play, but he also wants to win.
We were talking last week about the biggest failed, big three or whatever. Can we the Nets organization as a whole, bruh, they need to go look in the mirror and figure some shit out.
Here's one last thing I'll say about KD. KD is the most unloyal player in the league.
Not more than Kyrie. You saw the montage. If y'all would have me back, I'm resigning.
Yeah, we've seen
my best friend. I'm resigning. Come on, bro.
But KD has no loyalty to an organization.
But the difference is that KD never claims to have any loyalty. He's just a snake, and that's what it is.
Exactly, he is. He definitely
Kyrie puts on this face like he's the most loyal person in the world.
He's a good guy. Like he's the fucking Mona Lisa.
That's the difference.
Exactly. No, but KD will literally jump ship. And when I saw that roster, I was going through it. I was like,
that man's crazy.
He's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, can you blame him? Can you blame him?
Just listen. The thing about KD, he wants to hoop and win. Those are the two things that he wants. He if you put him on a team just to hoop, he's not gonna stay. He has to win too. Those are the components.
It's funny, when they made that trade for Ben Simmons for the James Harden trade, and then over the summer everyone started asking out. I'm like, damn, it's crazy. Everyone's not gonna want to play for this team because of Ben Simmons. Now, the final piece of the puzzle. They got rid of all that shit for Ben Simmons, basically. And he's the final piece of this puzzle, right? He's the most highest paid player on the team, the veteran on that team, and he's getting benched every fourth quarter. He don't even play in the fourth quarter.
He's coming off the bench every game.
Bro, they're going to a 19-year-old. they're going to a 19-year-old Cam Thomas before they go to Ben Simmons.
2 points against the Knicks. Oh my God, I was lying.
Bruh,
I
it
was
is like
laughing my ass off.
it is so embarrassing because I used to think he was better than Donovan Mitchell. Like, what was I smoking? I don't know what I was smoking, but so I mean, looking at Brooklyn again, they have Ben Simmons, they have Cam Thomas, who had some games, and now he's starting to play bad again. Now he's coming off the bench, but they did get Mikal Bridges, who I know you love. Cameron Johnson, I love him. UNC guy, and they got hella draft picks from everybody. And then they also got Dinwiddie from the other trade. They got Dorian Finney-Smith from the other trade. So they're looking like the Nets right before they got KD and Kyrie. Remember that? Like that's the Nets team that they were before. So they're gonna be a good, decent team, but they're not contenders anymore, obviously. So obviously they failed. I don't know if there's a way for them to rebuild because they have good players. They're about to be stuck in purgatory because they're just good enough to get a playing game, but they're never going to be bad enough to go get like a Victor Wembanyama or anything like that. So, I don't know. That one's going to be interesting. Now, obviously, there's a lot of other trades that happen. What were some of the ones for you that were like, damn?
Talk about getting fucked, man. You're going to be that good that you can't get one of those guys.
Trust me, the Sixers went through it for a while when we had Iguodala in them. We will always get the A seed, and then that was it.
Nothing really shocked me, to be honest. Like I was anticipating a lot of that shit to kind of move. As soon as Kyrie pulled his hat out of fucking Brooklyn, I knew KD was gone, and we all knew Jay Crowder was trying to get moved. And
I think that's really good for Milwaukee.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's perfect.
I think a lot of like depth happened, not like superstar movement. I know the Lakers basically did.
That was going to be my next one. The Lakers, they did well. They did well. They got rid of the, and now stories are starting to come out. Russell Westbrook was bad for that locker room. Like it's starting to come out now that it was just toxic the whole time. Yeah. And I remember that one video where LeBron's talking about like, good win, we play hard, and then Russell Westbrook cuts him off like, guys, let's just have fun. Let's just keep having fun. And that's when I knew he's out of here. I even screenshotted that shit like he's out of here. So
leadership.
To get him out is a big deal.
I think I don't want to give Russ a bad rap. We know
we love Russ, but
he does a lot. He does a lot for the world, for the world, for the bubble. Like there's amazing stories of what he did in the bubble.
Yeah, I know. I have no issues with him like that. It's just his basketball game has slipped.
Yeah, no. I agree.
Yeah.
And I wish him well wherever he goes. But the thing that I preach to you teams that are looking at him, he has to be your focal point. He has to be your focal point, and that's something you'll have to tailor your game to. And if you don't, then shame on you. I'm sorry. But
there's no team like the teams that I mentioned. Chicago, come on now, it's DeRozan and Zach LaVine. The Clippers, come on now, it's Patrick, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard. The Wizards, it's still Bradley Beal and Kuzma and Porzingis. And then Miami, it's Jimmy Butler and Bam. So, like, he can't be the focal point if he wants to go to a contending team. So where are you going to go? Detroit? Like, wait for Cade Cunningham to come back? Or
that's a tough thing. I mean, Utah would be great for him, I think.
But you want to play your young players at the end of the day.
Exactly. So
I don't know.
We'll see. It'll be fun to see what happens. But I think a lot of the moves are just depth moves. And I think the only outside of that, D'Lo was a big move. I see the Russ one and Conley. We'll see how all that pans out.
I mean, they got the Lakers got Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, and D'Angelo Russell, and Mo Bamba. I mean, that's
real quick out of Orlando.
Yeah, he was like, finally, get me out of here. So I thought that was, that's going to be big. We're going to see, and then them getting Hachimura, we're starting to see the fruits of that labor. We definitely need to see LeBron be healthy because the only way they're going to have a chance to make the playoffs, he's got to be healthy.
LeBron.
Yeah.
Yo, Anthony Davis is soft. Can I just say it like now? Like
I 100% agree with you. That's why I said they should have traded him. That's why I said it.
But But there's just too much behind the name. There's too much, and if you get rid of him, he's not going to be good. Like you're not going to get a better investment in it. There's too much invested. That's your big right there. That's the big that you need to run with. So he's got to get out of this funk.
He just doesn't show. He don't show it for me. Like
he doesn't even.
It was him against Giannis the other night, right? There's no LeBron. It's 1-on-1. It's you and him. One of y'all got to prove I'm that guy. The way we talk about Giannis now, we used to talk about Anthony Davis like that.
Yeah,
and he got manhandled.
Well, if you're not averaging like 25 and 10, like how?
He got manhandled.
Threes, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm over this 3-point shooting shit from the bigs. Like, there's a very select few, okay? I was cool with Porzingis doing it because he was knocking him down. You know, that's
but they wanted him to be Dirk. That's why they brought him over here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, not everybody can be that. And then everybody thinks they can be like that. And then you wear your low top shoes and you roll your ankles and you're out this and Zion and like everything. Like
that's another guy.
Oh God,
that's another one, bro. Like the dude is got another setback. Like, and we've been saying it. He will only be good in this league if he can stay healthy. And the if has not changed because he's missed more games than he's played. And this is what, year 4 now? Year 3, year 4? Like, it's sad because like he's exciting to watch. Like he's really exciting to watch. And you know, for us not to be able to like we looked at this Pelicans team going into this year like, they can really make some noise. They can't make noise if Zion's not playing. I mean, Brandon Ingram missed a lot of games too. So it's like one of those things with them in which we may never see the full potential of Zion because I think this is going to be a reoccurring thing for him personally.
I'm praying that we do. I have faith in the Zion thing. Yeah. I really do have faith in that.
I want to.
But Anthony Davis, I don't. I don't have
that one. That ship has sailed to me. I mean, he's been in the league like 10 years now. Like he's in his prime right now, but he's quickly getting out of his prime too. So we saw that, and then both of us got rid of some guys are some disgruntled guys on our bench to Portland. So Cam Reddish is there now. Matisse Thybulle is there now. And now look at Matisse Thybulle. He's balling.
Josh fucking Hart. The picture.
But y'all got Josh Hart though.
That is that. Yeah. Like, who do I always say I love the most?
Yeah, I think you said it last week too.
I love me.
You might have said it last week, bro. That was a good pickup.
I didn't think he was going to be this good though. Like I've always said, like people want to make Josh Hart Austin Rivers, but he's so much better than that. He needs to start. You can put Quinn Grimes on the bench. That boy needs to be starting, man. But
can you imagine right now if LeBron had Josh Hart, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball was I'm happy that he's been a mistake from the jump. But if he had those three still as his nucleus, they wouldn't be going through half the shit that they've been going through. So it's like look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, right? Like they got rid of him for Paul George, and Paul George don't even play basketball no more. It feels like. And look at Shai. And what is the Clippers' biggest need right now is a point guard. Shai was cooking up the Lakers on LeBron's night, cooking them up, and then he dropped 44 the next night after that. Like, yo, the dude is amazing.
They're just giving him they're giving him airtime now, as they should have been all along. They're letting it loose now. Yeah, if we can get Mikal Bridges too and get the band back together, I'll be a happy boy.
Mikal Bridges need to come to Philly. That's where he needs to be. That was a mistake. That was a mistake for not keeping him on that team.
It was a big mistake, and we should have never traded that pick to you, and he should have been a Knick. So, like, I feel the same way that you do, because you know I'm a big Mikal. I love Villanova basketball. I don't know what it is about.
They were just a fun team, man. It was just good.
I just think I should become a Philly fan. I just think that's what it should be. Who was the Pascal? Pascal was a fucking dog when he was there too.
Yeah. He's that's the Donovan Mitchell's homeboy.
Yeah, and gave up. NBA gave up on him when he got 13 points a game his rookie year or whatever. Yeah. Now where's he at?
John Wall got sent back to the Rockets. That shit was hilarious.
That hurts to see, man. I hate seeing.
Listen, I don't know what's going on with John Wall, but the fact that they sent him back to a team in which he just talked shit about, clearly they had no love for him whatsoever. So Danny Green is already playing for the Cavs tonight, so he's back home in Cleveland. LeBron need to come join him next year. Eric Gordon is back with the Clippers. I do like that Bones Highland pickup for them. And then I do like the Nuggets getting Thomas Bryant from
Thank God
the
Eric Gordon
Lakers.
got freed, man. Like Eric Gordon, fuck, that guy's been like so good for so long
I
and
know.
just been in purgatory and hasn't said a damn thing.
Yeah. He's a quiet dude in general. I thought the
Yeah,
Lakers would probably make a run for him. That was stupid for
I
not.
would have loved to see. But
The
back
Clippers get
home,
everything that the Lakers should be getting, and they're I don't know. But yeah, those. I mean, outside of that, those are like all the big moves. Patrick Beverly, we'll see where he does with if he's waived. We'll see where he ends up.
I'm saying Chicago or Minnesota.
He needs to just go back to Minnesota. I mean, he basically won a championship there last year when he was standing on the table. So, all right. So after all these moves going into the second half of the season after the All-Star break, who in your mind, give me like 2 or 3 teams from the West and 2 or 3 teams from the East where you're like they're legitimately probably going to be in the NBA Finals.
Well, definitely the Suns. We know that one for sure. The Suns got better, and love the Lakers' moves. I hope they become a good team. I don't like Dallas's moves at all. I don't like Dallas's moves, and it's already showing you it's not working.
Inside that game last night when they just passing the ball back to each other, like
yeah, look,
somebody take the damn shot.
all I saw was shades of New England versus Las Vegas last year is what it looked like, and then finally someone took it.
And right now they're getting beat by Jokic. They beating that ass. So.
I like Denver's moves. So those are 2 moves that I like because they went and got Thomas Bryant, and moved Bones Highland for I forgot who, I think like some picks or something like that. But like they made it out like bandits. Like they got Thomas Bryant for Devon Reed in like a 2nd round pick. Like
That's Pelinka for you.
Yeah. So who's Devon Reed? And out east, I like the Knicks moves. I'm not trying to be a homer here. I really like the Knicks moves.
Are they contenders?
Yes, they are contenders.
Okay.
I'm not even bullshitting. I've been watching these boys play, and we are fucking up the mop top right now. So fuck.
I haven't heard you talk about the Jets and the Knicks this positively in like ever.
I'm not saying we're going to the NBA Finals, but we are definitely, like, now that Brooklyn is done,
y'all got the state back. Y'all got the state back.
We got the state. We got the stake and the state back. So I love New York right now. I love their team. I've always been advocating, like, get a Josh Hart type player. And that's what Cam Reddish could have been, but I don't know why they don't play him. There's something not there. It was a dumb trade. You're not gonna play him, get rid of him.
Tim's like what he likes.
I'm happy with Cam Reddish leaving. Like, I wanted him to do well in Portland. Hope he does well. The best tutelage you're gonna get is from Dame, and now you've got an opportunity with Simons out. So take advantage of that shit.
Speaking of Dame, he's definitely top 75. My bad. I feel bad. I was saying, I don't know about Dame. No, Dame is definitely a top 75 player. Like,
we don't talk about him enough this year.
He's too good. Like, he's too good, bro.
Fixated on so much shit.
Yeah.
God, I wish you never got rid of CJ McCollum for him. I hate that so much.
Yeah, but they want Anthony, what's his name, like Simons to take that.
I don't like him for him. That's not his boy.
He's from Orlando. I know he's not his boy. That's the thing. Yeah.
He should have been off the bench or a small forward. Like, those two together were perfect. Peanut butter and jelly. Perfect.
Yeah, like Steph and Clay.
Yeah. The other team out east that I would say, I don't know. The East got pretty soft. I would say the moves Milwaukee made, like, and I do love the pickup of Muscala for Boston. Yeah, a big man that can shoot, and he's been balling since he's been there.
Yeah,
he's been very, very good.
What they wanted Gallinari to do.
Yeah, basically, but he's a thicker boy than Gallinari. Gallinari is very soft. Yeah, Gallinari is like, they wanted him to be kind of like a Dirk too type of player, and he's a prolific scorer, decent defender.
I mean, his whole career, he's been a pretty prolific scorer.
Yeah, he's been good. He's the main trade chip for Carmelo Anthony, so I'm happy to say that too.
And Wilson Chandler.
Yeah, I miss that guy. I miss
Wilson Chandler. Yeah, I liked him.
You saw his tweet to KD.
No, I didn't see it.
KD said something about like some tweet saying like I met this girl
Oh,
and
2011.
yeah.
Yeah, I
He
saw
said,
that
"Go
shit.
find your
Yeah,
love, boy."
yeah. People find, bruh, he found a tweet from 12 years ago to respond to. Y'all got no fucking time on your hands. You got too much time on your
He's
hands,
not in the
bro.
league. He's not in the league,
I
man.
got too much time.
I love me some Wilson Chandler when he was there. But yeah, I would say I love what New York did. They were very small moves, but it was definitely good for the team. And I like what Milwaukee did. Those are my two.
In the East, I love when Milwaukee did get Jay Crowder because it fits. They need a tough guy. Like they need when it comes down to it, they might have to see the bully Jimmy Butler. He gonna need somebody for that. They might have to see Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. You're gonna have to need somebody for that. So I feel like Jay Crowder is like, even though like he gets on my nerves, he's like the perfect fit for what they need because he needs to protect somebody. Now Giannis has he got his bully now. Like, all right, I'm good. So I like that for Giannis. I still think Milwaukee is the best team in the NBA. Drew Holiday is an all-star. Chris Middleton is just finding his groove now. He's coming off the bench. He's just getting back into like basketball shape. And it's February. By April, he's going to be amazing. And then Giannis is just on it. I mean, him, Jokic, him, MVP is like it's like one of those two every night they do something crazy. So I really like how Milwaukee's looking right now. I think Boston's a fantastic basketball team. But I feel like it's gonna look just like last year, where it's like they're almost there, but I don't know, just something that's not there. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Brogdon is a good piece. Maybe what's his name? The dude they got from San Antonio, whatever his name is. Anyway,
Oh, Rex Ryan, may really come back to be the defensive coordinator. They're saying it's likely.
He should. That defense is really good.
I agree.
That's perfect for him. They're gonna get after it. So, but anyway, I like Milwaukee. In the East, I like that we got rid of Matisse Thybulle. I like that we got what's his name from Charlotte. I like Cleveland too. I think Donovan Mitchell, I think Danny Green's gonna help, be like a leader in that locker room. He's been there before. But at the end of the day, it's Milwaukee or Boston's conference in the East. And in the West, I do like what Denver did. I do like what Denver did for sure. I think Memphis is
a solid backup. That's a solid backup for Jokic.
Yeah, it is. Memphis is eventually going to fall on their face. Sacramento is having a fantastic basketball year, by the way. Like, after all this year of being horrible, like, they are actually going to make the playoffs and not the play-in. Like, they're good.
And made no moves.
Not Mike, what's his name? The coach that they hired? Mike Brown. Mike Brown made it. So that's it. They got Mike Brown.
But they made no moves in the trade deadline.
Technically, though, they made the move last year trade deadline when they got Sabonis and got rid of Halliburton. By the way, Halliburton is an all-star, and Sabonis is an all-star too, right? So it still worked out for everybody. Yeah. But obviously, to me, it's Denver and Phoenix in the West. I do like what the Lakers did, but look, they're sitting at 26-32 as we're talking right now. They are 4 games back from the 7th seed Pelicans for a play-in spot, and they're 4.5 behind the Dallas Mavericks, who just got. I mean, everybody in the top 6. No, Memphis is not going to fall out. Sacramento is not going to fall out. Phoenix is not going to fall out. Clippers or the Mavericks, they're not going to fall out. So there's no way that they don't get into the playoffs unless they play a play-in game. So the best scenario for the Lakers is that they need a gun for the 7 and 8 seed. Now, the Pelicans not having Zion for the next few weeks is going to help the Lakers in that aspect. And then Minnesota, who really knows what to expect with them? Same thing with Utah. So they have a chance, but the people ahead of them is Portland and OKC, right? Dame is playing like an MVP. Shea is playing like an MVP. And LeBron's running mate is soft. It's Anthony Davis. So it's like, I don't know. I don't feel too good about the Lakers. Even though I like the move, I feel like they're so far behind right now. And they have to figure this out on the fly, how to play together. Like, to get a playoff spot. That's a very tall task to do. I know LeBron's done it before, but he's also 38 years old with a bad foot and a bad ankle. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. But yeah, that's it. All-Star game is coming up. All-Star weekend's coming up. We haven't done a quote unquote fun segment in a while.
We haven't
We
exactly.
do
We
a
haven't.
pick'ems, all football season. So this is essentially going to be a fun segment because it is the NBA All-Star weekend. What happened?
We did this last year too.
Yeah, we did. But we didn't do the whole weekend, did we?
May have. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, so at the end, he's going to be Team Giannis. I obviously am going to be Team LeBron. And we're going to do our All-Star draft as if we were LeBron and Giannis. And then if you don't know, the actual All-Star draft is going to be done like right before the game, like a pickup game. So really cool to see that. A lot of stars this weekend. I know the celebrity All-Star game. They got like 21 Savage, and I think Ben Affleck is going to be involved with that as well. What other star? I mean,
I just don't want Drake to tear his ACL, bro. That's all.
is Drake playing again?
No, he's not playing.
Oh, I'm about to say because I mean, DK Metcalf is playing.
Yeah.
Jeez. Calvin Johnson's playing. Ozuna, damn, Ozuna's playing. YBN Corday, I like that. Janelle Monáe, I didn't know she balled. Okay. Guillermo, oh my God, The Miz. There's there's gonna be a lot of celebrities at this game, but we're not gonna predict anything about that because who really cares. Let's start off with the Kia Skills Challenge. So they do it in a team format now. So it's the Antetokounmpos versus the Jazz versus the Rooks. So obviously we know that Antetokounmpos is the three of them. The Jazz is going to be Jordan Clarkson, Colin Sexton, and Walker Kessler. And then the Rooks is Banchero, who is having an amazing rookie year. Jaden Ivey, who's I think he just got into the top 5 of the rookie of the year race, so he's definitely making moves. That's why they definitely shouldn't go get Russell Westbrook to go mess up that thing over there. And then Jabari Smith from Houston, that horrible basketball team in Texas. So who would you have winning the skills challenge?
I'm going with the rookies because these 3 rookies are fucking ballers, bro. Those 3 rookies are really good. I love Jordan Ivey's fundamentals. I think he's a great passer, a good scorer. Somebody was, I don't know if it was Townie, they were like, I don't like him. I don't think he's gonna be good. He's a real deal.
Yeah.
And Caro should be an all-star. He should be an all-star too, in my book.
Not yet.
I get it.
Like literally, when I say he's Carmelo Anthony, that is his career. He's going to be a prolific scorer forever, and that's it. He's gonna get to his All-Star games. Don't get me wrong, but he's just gonna follow that path. So
and then Jabari Smith is the real deal. I'm gonna stick with the rookies. I like that.
All right, so they do team relay, they do team passing, and then they do team shooting. So shooting, Banchero, Ivy, and Jabari are going to be the better shooters. Especially against Antetokounmpos. Colin Sexton and Jordan Clarkson can shoot too, and Walker Kessler. I've seen a couple of his games, so that might be scary. Passing, who's the good passer with the Rooks?
Jordan Ivey is a great passer.
That's it, one good passer.
But
Jordan Clarkson and Colin Sexton are both guards, and then Kessler.
We also saw Evan Mobley sink the game-winning shot last year. So
yeah, because he's a stud. That's why I like the Jazz.
All right, I got no beef with it.
I like the Jazz because the game is in Utah, so they're gonna have some kind of influence from the crowd. So I'm going with the Jazz on this one.
Okay.
All right, 3-point contest. Our participants, and it's crazy. Like the 3-point contest has become more exciting than the dunk contest, and it kind of just shows you the times that we're in because. Back in the day, it was Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins. It was so cool. Now it's Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Jason Tatum. So you can just see like the shift in our world. But anyway, our participants are Jason Tatum, Kevin Huerter, Tyler Hero, Tyrese Halliburton, Lauri Markkanen, Anthony Simons, Damian Lillard, and Buddy Hield. This is actually a very good. I'm happy that Karl Anthony Towns is not doing it. I didn't want to see no big man do all that shit. I want to see some pure shooting. So this is a very good 8 right here. Who you got?
Anthony Simons may not be in it too, so that seat may be open.
Okay. Did they say who they could potentially replace him with?
No, I just got that update today, so
Okay.
I didn't look at that just yet.
Okay, we can leave him out.
You know who I'm going with. You know who I'm going with there.
I actually don't.
You really don't?
You going with Dame? I want to go with Dame, but
I'm going with Dame because Dame is just like the silent killer.
Dame doesn't strike me as a 3-point contest kind of player. I'm going to shoot this ball in your face with 1 second left and wave goodbye kind of player. He's like a killer. These 3-point shooters are people that's all they do is shoot, right? So, Tyler Hero, somebody like that. I'll go with Buddy Hield though. Buddy Hield he's a rack 3-point shooter. So I think Buddy Hield is going to take this one personally. So you got Dame, I got Buddy. All right. And then slam dunk. We got Jericho Sims. Who the hell is he? Mac McClung. He plays in the G League. K. Martin Jr. plays for the 13-win Houston Rockets, and Trey Murphy is a 3-point shooter, parading as a dunker this weekend. Yeah. This is going to be a very boring dunk contest. I'm going with Mac McClung because he's the only one. Me too. He's the only one that's actually a dunker.
No. Listen, I'll never forget when I first started my first big boy job. I was at this startup company, and my boy was showing me his highlight. He's like, "Watch this guy dunk."
He was at Georgetown, right?
Yeah, I was like, "This is a white boy in Georgetown."
Yeah, he's the legit one. So the hope really is that he puts on a show. Remember, no one remember Vince Carter's slam dunk contest. We don't remember everybody else. We don't care. Maybe Tracy McGrady had a couple good dunks, but we remember Vince Carter's performance. But we haven't had a slam dunk competition. I mean, we remember Dwight.
Tracy McGrady had great dunks in that.
Yeah, Tracy McGrady did fantastic.
Carter just made it for us.
Exactly. When people talk about that slam dunk contest, it's Vince Carter's. You know what I mean? But now we gotten so used to it being boring, and then we finally got Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine. So I think I'm thirsting for that. Oh my God, it's going to be mono versus mono.
But we don't get any big stars anymore. That's the thing. Is we just get mediocres.
We get G leaguers now.
Yeah, he's not a G leaguer. You guys brought.
Oh, we just signed him. I know to a 2-way contract.
He can participate.
To a 2-way contract. I'm going with McClung for obvious reasons. He's a Philly guy now, and he's the only one that looks like he knows how to dunk. So, we're both going with McClung there. All right. The moment of truth, where we all been waiting for, is the All-Star Draft. Now, there are some players on this list that we're not going to be able to use probably because they're hurt. So, for example, Jaylen Brown, Steph Curry.
We don't know Jaylen Brown, though. He's available still. He's day to day.
For right now, Steph, Zion. Is that it? Is Durant playing?
Zion and Kevin Durant.
He's not playing. Okay. Yeah. So no Durant. Is that 100% confirmed, by the way?
Yeah, he's not playing.
So no Durant. We got to figure out. All right, no Durant. Boom. Let me erase that. No Zion. We're gonna erase that, and no Steph, right?
Right.
And then for now, we're just gonna go under the impression that Jaylen Brown is going to be playing.
Okay. Until Jalen Brunson gets a seat. Fight me.
That's fine. All right. So how it works? I'm LeBron, obviously. I'm Beyonce. So I'm the head hunt. No, I'm playing. I pick first, and you don't have to pick a guard or a center or anything like that. I pick first, and then by the time we get to the end, you pick last in the starters pool, and then you pick first in the reserves. Okay.
Okay.
So you get back-to-back picks, which is nice. So as LeBron James, my first pick of my All-Star draft will be let me get Luka.
Okay. All right. My first pick. Give me the MVP. Give me Joel.
Okay. Mr. Embiid.
You know
he
me.
Plays hard. He plays hard. All right. For me, if you gonna get and B, I gotta get the Joker, right? So I'm going with Jokic.
Give me Tatum.
I like it. Okay. So Tatum's off the list. Obviously, I'm LeBron. I'm trying to stir some shit for the summer. Kyrie Irving is about to be a free agent, so let me get that Kyrie. Let me get that Kyrie.
Give me Donovan Mitchell.
Okay. You're not a bad drafter, Mr. A-Rod. I like Donovan Mitchell. He might get out 50 in this game because he's from Utah. He's going for that MVP. Well, not from Utah, but that's his home. And it's crazy that I'm not going to pick John Morant. I have to pick John Morant.
Yeah, I don't want John.
I have Luka and Kyrie already, so I already have my guard. I'm picking Lauri Markkanen.
All right. I can't believe Lauri Markkanen's a starter.
I'm picking Lauri Markkanen. So you get Ja. So you get Ja, and then you get the first pick of the reserves.
All right. Give me.
God, there's not many people available. Anyway, go ahead.
Give me Dame time.
All right. Hold on, let me just do something. All right. So you got Dame. Good pick. Okay, so you got Embiid, you got Tatum, you got your guard play is on point, but your wing play is kind of suspect. So let me try to steal some wing players from you. Damn, I should take Jaylen Brown, but I don't know if he's gonna play. Paul, nah. If I was, damn, this is actually I'm taking SGA. Let me take Shai Gilgeous. He a dog.
It's a good pick. Give me Julius Randle.
I knew it. I was going to see if I could steal him from you. I was like, I have to take SGA over him.
I'm so high on Julius right now.
I'm happy. I'm happy that he's playing well because I was a little nervous for him after his playoff exit. Yeah. All right. My wings are not wingy enough. Well, let me get it's an all-star game. It's going to be a little exciting. Let me get DeMar DeRozan.
Damn it.
Let me get DeMar DeRozan.
Give me need some size. Give me Paul George.
I picked DeRozan over Paul George, so
I would have done the same.
It's just like he's just I don't know. Man, I've fallen out of lust with his game.
You know the way I feel about Paul George.
I know. All right. Let me get some size. Let me get Bam.
Yeah. Let's say the masked man plays. Give me Jaylen Brown.
Okay, so we're I thought about him, but yeah, that's a good pick. So you got Tatum and Brown. It's a lot of points. All right. Woo. I like my couple of my bigs. It's an all-star game though. So you go, oh yeah, John Morant was a starter. That's right. You know who's been really impressive? De'Aaron Fox. Let me get De'Aaron Fox.
If you're gonna go king, I'm gonna go king. Give me Sabonis.
Sabonis. That's who I forgot to write down, you lucky dog. I was like, damn, I feel like I'm missing somebody. Yeah. All right. Very good pick. That's a good pick. That might be the one right there. If you're gonna take him though, I'm gonna have to take Jaren Jackson. No, Pascal Siakam. Okay. I'm gonna take Pascal Siakam.
This is an all-star game. Let's make some highlights. Give me Anthony Edwards.
All right, the Ant-Man. I'm happy he made it too.
Me too.
Because he was like, yeah, he gave a real humble answer when he initially didn't make it. He's like, no, I'm just concerned about playoffs. I'm like, all right. I like to hear that maturity after, you said some questionable things over the summer, and then Cam Thomas said some questionable things last week after that Brooklyn game. All right, so we're down to Tyrese Halliburton, Jaren Jackson, and Drew. I'm gonna take Halliburton because what's his name? Say he's not gonna be an all-star. Halliburton.
Wally Zerbiak.
Yeah, Wally Zerbiak.
I am Giannis. What am I like without my point guard? Give me my boy Drew. I give you your baby.
All right. And then I end up with Jaren Jackson. All right. Yeah, that's 12 and 12. So yeah, we have a full roster right now. And then obviously if before because we're gonna post our team versus each other so you can kind of vote on who you think would win between those two. Obviously, with Jaylen Brown, we'll figure out if he's being replaced. If he is being replaced, who's your number one guy? Is you got Brunson?
Has to be. Has to be.
Jimmy. I'll take Jimmy buckets.
The three I would pick would be Brunson, buckets, or Trae Young. Those would be the three.
Yo, Trae Young, he is getting disrespected. Now that like you actually go look, I'm like, he is kind of being disrespected. I mean, I know he's not everyone's cup of tea, but he is a good basketball player. So I'll just leave that right there. Or Klay Thompson, even though he's in the West, so never mind.
Yeah,
all right. That's the show. You got it. Take it away.
You can find us on Twitter at fair_weather_pod. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Search the Fair Weather Podcast. Where you subscribe or listen to podcasts. You can find the audio at any source as well. Words of encouragement, words to take away.
I'm very happy that I was able to get through this episode. Like I said, it was a very trying couple of days for me. But I'm happy I got through it. At the end of the day, you know who your real friends are. You know who really loves you. You know who are the ones who care about you. So make sure you keep those people as close to you as possible because you never know when they're going to come through for you when you need it the most. So that's all.
Shout outs to Pharrell Williams.
Shout out to Pharrell for real.
Pharrell is now the creative director of menswear at Louis Vuitton. Much deserved. Well deserved.
The DMV did something else again, man. They doing a lot.
They don't stop.
They don't stop. Even Kevin Durant about to win the championship this year. All right.